Nice.
Nice, thank you.
Yep. All right, you're alive.
All righty. We'll call the regular meeting of Gates Fire District to order at 6:34 p.m. And Commissioner Worth, would you lead us in the pledge?
Well, can't stand up here. I don't have enough.
Okay, that's all right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
United
of the
States.
United States of America,
America,
to the republic,
to
for
which
which
it stands,
one nation,
one nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all.
Thank you. Everybody knows their emergency exits, correct?
Yep.
Okay, we have any guests wish to address the board? Hello, Mark, welcome. Okay, looking for approval of prior minutes for the November 23rd regular meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Cox, seconded by Commissioner Worth. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, treasurer's report.
All right, you should have the treasurer's report in front of you.
And the question?
Oh, sir, I'll make a motion that we accept the treasurer's report as reported.
Motion made by Commissioner Cox to accept the treasurer's report as reported. Second,
I'll second it.
seconded by Commissioner Worth. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next you have the monthly disbursements report.
Trying to do this on my phone.
All set?
Make a motion, we accept the disbursement report.
Motion made by Commissioner Cox to accept the monthly disbursements,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Worth. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, and then we have the P and L.
When you're ready, Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion.
Okey-dokey. Okay, motion made by Commissioner Cox to accept the profit and loss report. Seconded by Commissioner Hancock. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then you have the accounts payable.
Did everybody get a chance to stop in, Julie, and get that signed? Get them signed?
Yep, everybody stopped in.
Perfect. Dave, I'll make a motion on that, then we'll approve the,
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Cox to approve the accounts payable as of December 10th. Seconded by
Second, it.
Commissioner Worth. All in favor?
Aye.
Should you make a note there about Lou being out sick?
I will under my
Only 4
report.
of us are signed.
Jim, you were talking, but he's got on his report. Dave,
Okay.
Chairman Hancock will.
And I'll send out the thing for you guys to sign.
Okay,
I'll start with Dave maybe, and Dave will pass it on to the next one,
Start with me.
like Chris. And pass it around for everyone to sign.
Do I have to do it now?
No,
Yeah.
by the end of the day.
You're really pushing your luck.
I
If
can
you're
only, yeah, really. I can only do one thing at a time on this computer.
Yeah. Well, I'll stop in and sign it tomorrow.
All right, and then, and as a note, Sean Hucko sent over a copy of the engagement letter for the 2020 audit. It looks, I did go through it. It looks like it's what we expect it to be. I'll review it one more time, and then we will need a commissioner to sign it. And we need to send that back to them.
Okay.
Okay,
All righty.
and then the last thing is
Mark,
that, go ahead. Sorry, what?
Carol, one of the concerns that I have is I haven't seen that engagement letter, not that I need to, but one of the things that we're counseling our clients beginning in 2021 is that, and it may be appropriate now, is that a copy of the proposed management letter be provided to council for review before it is finalized. The draft of the preferred language is a draft of the proposed management letter be provided to council for review together with the board. We found that there's some instances, Sean does a great job, but there's some instances where some clarifications by council can eliminate any negative comments that might arise otherwise. So it's one of our recommendations. It's going to be going out for the new year, and maybe we can strike a little bit. This may be an appropriate time for that. So thank you. Mr.
Okay, so you said the management letter, not the engagement letter?
Correct. And my suspicion is that might be reflected in the engagement letter
Yeah,
for what they're going to do.
okay. I will, I can forward a copy of it to you.
Why don't you do that? 5 minutes worth of review of it can provide that.
Today.
Okay. All right, yes, I can definitely do that before we sign off and send it out.
5 minutes, Chris, 5 minutes.
That's fair.
we love you, Mr. Butler.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And the feeling is mutual.
Thank you.
All right, and the last item I have is that the state is once again offering principal and procedures training classes. We had signed up for them last year, and then they ended up, we were not able to do the second portion because of COVID, and then we tried to sign up and the classes were full. Julie, have you signed up for the second one?
Yeah, this is why it's on the report, because I had signed up on a reserve list, and so they reached out to whoever signed up on the reserve list to get in on the classes before they send it out to the general public to sign up.
Right.
So I'm booked for the February 2nd to 3rd class. If you guys approve that for training, it's $85.
And I would prefer to take it. They usually have another one later in the year, and
The
I
next one-
prefer that. What's
The
that?
next one is April 13th and 14th.
Right,
Carol.
I know. Those two dates are really bad for me because of
Right.
taxis. But, so I was hoping that they would once again offer a class either in the summer or the fall.
Julie, what was the date again? The 2nd or the
February.
3rd?
February 2nd and 3rd.
Is that online, Julie, or do you have to go somewhere?
Yes, it's a virtual training.
Awesome, good. So it'll probably happen then.
Yes, it will happen.
Okay, so I'm looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we send Julie, and if Carol can get signed up later, I guess we'll bring that up then, but I'll make a motion that Julie goes to that training in February there.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cox to have Julie attend the Principal and Procedures Training class at a cost of $85, seconded by Commissioner Holtfelder. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And
Is
that's
that it,
it.
Carol? All
Yeah,
right,
that's
thank you.
it.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
All right. Secretary's report.
Chief Booble distributed informational bulletin 20-044 to all personnel regarding safety officer Rob Taylor. Chief Booble distributed revised administrative order 20-028 to all personnel regarding COVID-19 yellow zone operational changes. Legal notice to bidders for fire apparatus was published in the Messenger Post on Thursday, November 26th. Assistant Chief Gooley distributed administrative order 20-031 to all personnel regarding order receiving. We received a legal notice from the Chi-Li Planning Board. Chief Booble distributed administrative order 20-032 to all personnel regarding COVID-19 operational changes and reminders. Chief Booble distributed informational bulletin 20-045 to all personnel regarding safety officer vacancy for Group 5. Assistant Chief Gooley distributed informational bulletin 20-046 to all personnel regarding dispatcher Demora. A legal notice to bidders for Station 1 and 3 parking improvements project was published in the Messenger Post on December 3rd. An additional legal notice was received from the Chi-Li Planning Board, from Zoldaz Construction Company, and Linda Halpin from Bayside Paving requested a bid specifications package for the parking improvements project for Station 1 and 3. That's all I have.
Thank you. Chief Booble's report.
Can you hear me okay?
So far,
Okay. For November, we had 271 calls for service, 896 members in attendance. I would like to recognize all of our members and the neighboring departments and all the other ancillary agencies who assisted at the Noel Drive 4-alarm fire last night. We were talking earlier before the meeting started about how relatively smooth an operation it was given the size and scope of the incident. Mercifully, nobody was injured or killed, but my hat's off to all of our folks and everybody who helped us. It was a job well done. Health and safety officer's position, Captain Kaufman, although he's still on the books, is starting his vacation time prior to retirement. So in his absence, we have tasked Battalion Chief Ponis with the health and safety officer responsibilities for the district until we can get a permanent replacement in place. And as luck would have it, 4 hours after Captain Kaufman began his vacation, Battalion Chief Ponus was thrown into the fire literally as the HSO at last night's incident. So that's our plan currently, and right after the first of the year, we'll work actively to get that spot permanently filled. Dispatcher Demora has completed his training regimen and is now assigned to Group 4 as the full-time public safety dispatcher on that group. Civil service exams. I'm currently in negotiations, if you will, with county civil service. Both the fire chief and assistant fire chief exams are slated to be administered in March. And we're working with civil service to try and come up with a group of requirements for people to sit for the exam that will allow us the most eligible candidates possible internally. They're going to have both promotional and open competitive exams, but I would like for us to have as many possible candidates internally for promotion able to take that exam as we can. So I'm working with Mary Kay Knitter and Patty English at civil service to get that worked out. So more to come on that when that's all finalized. COVID-19. So as the secretary mentioned, several revisions to administrative orders were issued over the past week or so in response to the changing zone colorations of our fire district. So we're back to what I would dare say is a mode of operation. It's strikingly similar to what we did back in March when this all first began. The one thing I need to impress on everybody, is that coming into the firehouse, and so far so good since I put out the revision to the admin order, but I need everybody with the COVID logging to do the health screen, do the temperature check, and log in because that is a primary means for us should we have a COVID case within the district. It's a means for us to be able to do some contact tracing. So I want to make sure everybody's doing those logs when they come into the firehouse. Other than that, I received today some communication from Dr. Cushman, our medical director, in regards to first responders, specifically EMS personnel, and where they sit in queue for being able to receive the COVID vaccination. It would appear that there may be some displeasure, if you will, with where EMS providers sit in that queue. So if the board is okay with me penning a letter representing the fire district to the governor's office, we'll be sending a communication along with several other county agencies in support of just trying to get EMS providers as high in the queue as we can for receiving the vaccine. Our local EMS system is starting to feel the pinch, if you will, of not only call volumes, but also personnel becoming sick. And I think we need to help our brothers and sisters. Certainly we're on the front lines of that as well, making sure that we can get our people vaccinated as quickly as we can. So I don't know if we need a motion on that or what, but
Let's just do it so we got it official, but I certainly make a motion, chief, to support that, to write that letter and whatever other support you need going forward.
Thank you.
Commissioner
second it.
Cox made the motion
I'll
to
second
allow
it.
the chief to sign the letter and send it to the governor about the EMS and the vaccination. Seconded by
I'll do it.
Commissioner Worth. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, chief.
Thank you. Let's see here. The fire safety inspection violations that were found during the walkthroughs of the stations, they have all been corrected with the exception of hanging an extinguisher in the basement of the admin building, which will be done over the next day or so. So those are pretty much wrapped up. We will be doing the re-inspections internally and sending the information over to the fire marshal's office so we can get that all wrapped up. So for all intents and purposes, that's been completed. The Wegmans donation letter, Wegmans did contact me by phone 2 days ago. They have affirmed our request for funds. Donna did some online data entry the other day with them to finalize the process, but the money is requested to assist with the unification pagers that has been appropriated. So as soon as we get that check, that'll go to the fire department, and we can work with them on how we need to handle everything internally. Zoom redundancy. So in the days of COVID here, with the potential for any of our personnel, and really COVID aside, any of our personnel to at any point in time become unavailable. Right now, in terms of our ability to run Zoom meetings and administer the link to YouTube and all that, and Adam, if you're available to chime in, please do, because I'm afraid I'm not going to do this justice. But my concern right now is that we don't have any redundancy in our system. If something were to happen to our IT coordinator, who is the only administrator with Zoom and the link to YouTube, we may be dead in the water when it comes to being able to manage meetings like this, and really any other means of remote networking that we're going to need to do as this COVID emergency continues to evolve and move on. So I asked Adam to put together a price quote. What I'd like to have is the ability to have a second person in place, a separate set of launch codes, if you will. So in the event of our IT coordinator becoming incapacitated or otherwise unable to function in his position, that we could get somebody else a set of credentials to be able to run the Zoom meetings and do the linkage to YouTube for public viewing. Adam, is that pretty much correct?
That's correct.
Wow. All right.
Nice
Way to go,
job.
Chief. And I bet I know who you're
That's
gonna
it.
recommend.
I'm out then, right? That's all you're gonna get tonight. It's anyways, the amount monthly for the Zoom and the ability to do the YouTube link and all that, it looks to be about $55 a month, $54.99 to be exact. So if you'd indulge, I would like permission to have our IT coordinator put that redundancy in place, so that if he's unable to function in his capacity, that we can have somebody else step up and manage these meetings in his absence.
I'll make a motion. Chief moves forward with that till he thinks it's time to unplug it.
Look it. Okay, motion made by Commissioner Cox to move forward with the Zoom redundancy request from the chief's office. Second
Second.
by Commissioner Holfelder. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Chief. You beat me to it.
Thank you. We received a letter of appreciation from the Greater Rochester International Airport and our brothers and sisters at the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force. We assisted them with some of their needed training recently, and I'll leave it at that. But I thought it was nice for the commission to know that we're networking with local and federal agencies in a very, very positive way. They were very appreciative of the job that we did and the way our personnel conducted themselves. So again, my hat's off to our people and the job they do every day. Speaking of our hats off to our people, Medal Day 2020, as we know, it was yet another victim of the COVID crisis. Part 2 and myself are currently working through all the necessary hoopla to be able to present our personnel who are award winners this year with those awards well on duty in a very simplified, COVID-friendly manner. And then certainly put that in queue along with the promotions we did over the last several months if COVID ever subsides and we can actually have some sort of a mass gathering, then we can have a joint promotional ceremony, medal day ceremony, and so on and so forth. So that'll be coming up soon. We'll be scheduling those with the groups, and I will certainly make sure that the commission is included in on those correspondences, so you know when those sessions are if you wish to attend and partake.
Thank you, sir.
And other than that, I just have a request for executive session for a personnel matter. And that's it.
Okay, Chief, thank you. Assistant
Thank
Chief
you.
Foley.
Or the
I have a
backup to
couple
our Zoom.
purchase requests. First one is going to be Captain Caminelli is looking to purchase one Truckman's Choice chainsaw. Truckman's Choice is the new, the rebranded Cutter's Edge saw to replace the one that's currently on 4530 from MES for $1,949. The current saw that is on 4530 is a very old saw, and unfortunately, we can no longer buy parts for it. There are funds in the equipment account to cover the expense.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to approve the purchase of one Truckman's Choice chainsaw for 4530 at the cost of $1,949. Made by Commissioner Holfelder, seconded by Commissioner
Cox.
Cox. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Community Risk Reduction Specialist Terravis is looking to purchase assorted fire prevention supplies from Image Now for a total of $5,449.02. These are to replenish all of her supplies that she's used over the past few months for different events. She does have the funds in her accounts to cover the expenditure.
Motion.
Motion to approve the purchase of fire prevention supplies from Image Now in the amount of $5,449.02. Made by Commissioner Holfelder, seconded by Commissioner
I'll second.
Worth. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And Battalion Chief Amendolara is looking to purchase 3 sets of gear for, from MES for a total of $8,363.83. And he does have the money in his budget to cover those expenditures.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to approve the purchases of 3 sets of gear from MES for a total of $8,363.83, made by Commissioner Cox, seconded by Commissioner Holfelder. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And lastly, I have a request for executive session for legal counsel.
All right, thank you, chiefs. The 5-year plan is still in progress. Station 3 parking lot and the parking lot replacement for Station 1 is moving forward. Building utilization committee is still in progress. My report, one is the heat in the fitness room at Station 3 seems to be, I don't know, like a bone of contention, I guess. What's been happening is they've been turning the heat up to 90 and then forgetting to turn it back down. That in turn will trip the breaker, I believe, up on the top unit, and we have to get Wolf down here to reset it. I talked to Commissioner Cox to see if we can get a thermostat. They can set it. It'll stay set for 45 minutes and then drop back down to a decent temperature. And we are still looking into that, right?
Yeah, it'll be a programmable thermostat. It shouldn't be expensive. We're gonna get a price on it to make sure everybody knows, but it should be real easy.
Okay, so that, and that should take care of the problem. I did talk to Jim Yale about what was discussed in the fitness class, and he said that normally they have them train in their turnout gear, their coats. But the guys have been turning up the heat, which I don't mind, but we got to turn it down or we're going to blow up another $5,000 roof unit that we can't afford. Contract for the EAP. We agreed to renew that through U of R. Looking for a motion for that, and
I
then I
got a
will
question,
sign
I got
that
a
down.
question on that.
Sure.
I only got this like 45 minutes ago, and it's 11 pages long, so
Yeah.
I haven't read the whole thing, but under fees, it says the Gates Fire District agrees to pay UR Medicine $3,074 annually based on 116 employees times 2650. I can't believe we got 116 employees. I haven't been involved in this before, so again, I don't understand.
That counts the volunteers too.
Yeah, we only got 16 and we only got 52 careers, so we're
Yeah, but
anywhere
I
near
think, Jim-
116.
Dan?
I'm sorry, but I think probably the chief's office can, or maybe Assistant Chief Gooley was going to say something, but I'm sure that covers our admin staff and employees like that too. Now, maybe we should double check that number. I don't know if anybody did that, but it certainly is more than just the firefighters. We're talking about
Right.
anybody that's involved in our organization can go to EAP to seek help, or if you want to call it that, assistance, employee assistance.
Somebody should check the number because to me it seems
Okay.
very high.
Tim, do you know if anybody has, I mean, I don't think it came to you, obviously. It came to Terry in a contract, so we could do that in a minute, right?
Yeah, it did not come to me. But I know that's part of the CBA. We also offer EAP services to retirees. So that would
Okay.
increase.
Yeah,
the
Oh,
number.
okay, that I didn't.
And I did talk to Captain Kaufman this evening, and he did review the contract, and he was good with the contract as written.
As I said, I wasn't involved before, but it just seemed awfully high to me. I don't know what the total is.
But if you're adding the retirees in, that bumps up the number quite a bit too.
Well, actually, we only got like less than a dozen, don't we? So we got 52 regular, 16, sub 2, 4. I still don't think we're getting there 116.
Well, we got 76 employees,
How much?
76.
Okay, 76 employees plus retirees, and there's like a dozen. I'm going by the pictures hanging on the wall in the meeting room.
Okay, yeah.
Well, Jim, but I think if we have life members that came forward and needed to
Forward.
seek help, like when we have the situation with Joe Manous, say, for instance, I'm just using that for an example, or during this COVID counseling that we might need, or financial sacrifices or issues. I don't want to, I mean, maybe I'm talking myself into, it should be 200, not 116, but I'm just suggesting that we can look at that, but let's make sure we're getting ourselves well covered for something that,
All I'm saying, just somebody check the number
Okay.
to make sure.
All right.
2650.
Okay.
I'd like to make the motion and pending a review of the number. I know it's close because we're at 96 plus retirees, and find out if there is a minimum on that. But I would make a motion that we move forward with it pending a review of the head count.
and Chairman, you'll be signing that?
Yes.
Okay.
We will check
I'll
the
second.
numbers.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Holfelder to move forward with the contract for EAP. Pending confirmation of the numbers, seconded by Commissioner Cox. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good catch, Jim.
Commissioner Caminelli, I talked to him briefly tonight. He is feeling better, but he is still not doing very good. So he's gonna be off the grid for a while and until he gets cleared to come back. So Julie, Carol, he won't be signing, in to sign anything, any of the
Okay.
checks. Chris, you're it for the check writer.
Yeah,
We
he-
made a special assignment for that today. Everybody's been paid.
Okay, sounds
did.
good. Okay, so that's the update on Lou. I was gonna bring up about the district secretary filling in for the election inspectors, but we already talked about that, so that would be double dipping if we paid you again. I tried. Okay, Commissioner Caminelli is excused. Commissioner Holfelder's report.
LoSAP update. As we discussed at the review with our financial investor, I have a few topics that I want to dig into a little bit. We mentioned that we would revisit this the beginning of calendar year 2001. I'll be prepared. I've done some research, book provided to me by Commissioner Worth, and I've been going through it a little bit on the dues and where we're at and how we go about it. But most importantly, I really want to look at, and I am completely, I am a blank sheet of paper, except for the research that I've done, that LoSAP, I want to find out the investment side, the funding percentages, if that's something we do, the investing policies, if any, that we need. And I will dig into that. And those are really critically important. And I would also like, if we do this, and I'm going to find out if LoSAP investors, they have a set of rules and regulations. I'm going to dig into that a little bit, just because I'm very uncomfortable with our current situation where our fund manager of funds really has a very limited accountability slate. And I think we can dig into that a little bit, and we'll all be better for it. So that's what I intend to bring to the table in January.
Thank you, sir.
And Counselor, you got any advice on that, or am I on the wrong track?
No, you're heading in the right direction, Chris. I just made a note here to give you a call. We can kind of show you where some of the resources might be for that, but I'm really glad you're looking at that. That's something that gets past a number of districts to their disadvantage, and I think it's a very worthwhile endeavor that you're going to undertake. And I can give you a couple of things, as I said, to help out with that.
Okay, and the reason I'm digging into it isn't because I think I know what I'm doing here. A private pension, almost $100 million private pension. I was a trustee for 16 years. I know how those financial people work. They come in with their fancy suits and they bibble babble you around. I just really want to get it better. I mean, we don't even get that. So we're going to clean that up a little bit. And I look forward to meeting or talking to you on the phone briefly, by the way.
Briefly. One question, do we have a separate outside audit done on the LoSAP? Or is that something that Sean Hucko's firm does for us in addition to the regular audit that we have done?
Jules?
I think Chris will be able to report that in January.
I think so,
I'm going
but
to dig into that a little bit. This is my time of year, and this is something I'm comfortable with digging into this one. I get the whatever they call it, the jargon. I get the jargon, and I want to be able to hold their feet to the fire and ensure that our funding percentages and our money's being invested correctly, and we are transparent and they are transparent, period. That's what I hope to bring to us.
I'll reach out to you tomorrow.
Thank you. You got my number?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Okay, I'll be ready for that call. Mid-morning.
hey, Chris, anything else?
That was really it. There was one today. There was one thing that was brought up, and again, this is another thing. Counselor can chime in if he'd like. That due to the fact that I am a commissioner that oversees the financing and signs checks, I was reluctant tonight to make any motions or seconds because I'm signing these checks. And if the three commissioners outside of me and Caminelli make the motions in the approvals, then I see transparency. That's why I held back tonight. If there's a question in there, I'm just bringing it up because a new accountant had mentioned it and Julie brought it to my attention.
Good,
Okay.
good thinking.
Good,
From
thank
a
you, Chris.
from a legal standpoint, Chris, I do not think there's an issue under town law 174, 176, subdivision 4A. Nothing can be paid without the order of the Board of Fire Commissioners to the treasurer. And so whoever is signing checks is really performing a ministerial action after the board has reviewed and authorized the payments. So you really can't sign anything unless and until the board has approved it. And the act of signing is really just an administrative function. With all due respect, anybody could sign as long as the board has reviewed, performed its legal responsibilities, and ordered the treasurer to pay. I don't see that there's any conflict there, but if that's a further issue, I respect that, and certainly for transparency purposes, I understand what you're doing.
I have no reservations. I thought and was very confident we were doing it the correct way, but tonight I withheld just till this point, and you've clarified it. We move forward just as we have in the past.
All right, thank you.
That's my report. Thank you.
Commissioner Cox.
Yeah, here we go. Got to get some permission to spend some money here. Let's start out with the floor cleaning. As you know, I reported last meeting, we were going to look at that. I'm coming back to make a recommendation. We move forward with Kruger. We've used them in the past. They do a great job. I did walk through all three suppliers. I have a spreadsheet that can explain everything on why our choice will be with Kruger, somewhere in the neighborhood of about 30 to 35% cost effective, better than the second closest. So I'll make a motion that we move forward with Kruger.
Second.
Motion made by motion made by Commissioner Cox to go with Kruger for the floor and carpet cleaning. Seconded by
I'll second.
Commissioner Worth. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next up on my agenda would be I need working on the dispatch project. I request that we move forward with buying two 55-inch Toshiba TVs along with the two wall mounting brackets for that. Again, these items that I'm bringing up are things that the team have brought forward. It was in the list. It's all within budget. The chief's office was part of that when we kicked off this, but I did not go to them recently, but there's nothing out of what we've already been talking about doing here with it. It was part of the plan, financially available and so on. So again, making a motion, we go get two 55-inch TVs along with the brackets to go with it as we move forward with the dispatchers project.
Second.
Motion to approve the purchase of two 55-inch Toshiba TVs and two Rockfish full motion TV wall mounts. Total amount $959.96, made by Commissioner Cox, seconded by Commissioner Holfelder. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next up, same project. As we discussed, there's some switchers that are a part of that, the Cisco switchers. Adam is certainly on if we need any further explanation, but again, what we have been using has been working, but we need to update and upgrade that area as we're going forward with the dispatcher's office. Total spend there's roughly $5,800. Make a motion that we move forward with these new switchers and so on with the MicroWorks Corporation. That's who we have the quote from, and Adam also certainly recommends it from the IT, and it's compatible with the rest of our technical equipment.
Okay, motion to approve the purchase of 5 Cisco managed switch from MicroWorks. Total amount is about $5,800, made by Commissioner Cox, seconded by Commissioner
Second.
Holfelder. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Last up is for the same project again. It's using our preferred supplier company that we're all near and dear to our heart, Skyway Communications, for moving forward with, again, part of this cabling and all that we're doing with the dispatchers project. that we're been working on. They'll be coming in January, February timeframe as the new furniture is put into place to hook this whole thing up and help us disassemble it where we needed to. So I make a motion that we spend, not to exceed $6,466 per their quote.
Motion to approve the purchase of grounding material, cable management, installation materials, new cables from Skywave Communications in the amount of $6,466, made by Commissioner Cox and seconded by
I'll tell that.
Commissioner Worth. All in favor?
Aye. Last couple of things here, just for updates on projects as reported out by Donna. The paving bid there, the improvements for Station 1 and 3, the bids are out. We've had a couple of them on it. Working with our preferred architect there that helped us with that. They also have it on their website that the Gates Fire District is seeking bids to move forward on that project. Just a note there on, I believe it's Monday, but whatever 12/15 is, Monday or Tuesday, I forget now. I think it's Tuesday, guys, but
Tuesday.
Tuesday, we're gonna, between 9 and noon, I'll make myself available that if anybody from the potential bidders can come in and do a walkthrough to see the property or have questions for us. That was all part of the spec that was put out. So any and all bidders can come into that. And then I'm available.
What day would that be, Dan?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, December 15th.
Okay, Tuesday the 15th.
Yes, sir.
If you were to text me, or if I could, I'd like to be present to keep an eye on that as well if possible. We'll be
You
available.
betcha. You
Okay.
betcha, Chris. Yep. But so Tuesday between 9 and noon, Chris. But I'll update you if I get anybody. Otherwise, I'll be there anyways. You know what I'm saying? With
Right.
the project stuff. So
It's
gotcha.
nice to have two sets of eyes looking at the guy versus one.
Nice.
Okay, very good.
Last
Thank
up is Pass Roll and Headquarters. We have our third meeting with them on Monday and then of next week, which would make it obviously the 14th. And then on the 18th, that Friday, we're meeting with the chief's office to bring us up to speed. That'll be Monday with Pass Roll again in the Gates team. And then on Friday, the Gates team with Assistant Chief and District Chief will bring them up to speed on where we're at. Again, a lot of moving forward parts there, but we've really done a lot too. Jim, I know you were a part of it. Anything to add to that?
Yeah, Dan, just while we were sitting here, Leah from Passero has sent design 1 and design 2
Okay,
to our phones. If you haven't got your phone in front of you, wouldn't know it, but it just came in, so.
Super.
We got all that paperwork we need for that meeting next week.
great. So sometime after next week, as we share it with the chief's office and his operations and all with the both guys, then we'll start, I'll get a little bit bigger picture with everybody so we can see what's going on there and so on. Absolutely zero cost at this time. It's all about the feasibility, the requirements document that we have, whether it's the truck room and all the offices and so on that we've talked about. They're moving forward and working on making it fit within our 4 walls. It does look fairly doable with the exception of the truck room. So that's my report. We'll get more to follow, but at least it keeps you up to speed on what's going on there. Any questions?
Thank you,
Thank
Dan.
Dan, I think that meeting is on Monday.
Yes, thank you, Donna. That meeting is 2:00 on Monday. And again, it's for the Gates team with Passero. There's usually 6 of us that attend that meeting maximum. We keep it again with COVID all messed up and so on. So very productive.
Thank you, Dan. Commissioner Worth,
No report.
Mr. Butler.
No report.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion for
I'll
executive
make a
session.
motion that we move forward with executive session, Dave.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion made at 7:24 by Commissioner Cox, seconded by Commissioner Worth. Did I hear?
Yep.
Yeah.
To enter executive session for the purpose of discussion regarding the medical, financial, credit, employment history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation,